So the first thing we're going to acknowledge is that it's 9:14 p.m. and we're still waiting on Indian food.
I told him to order it at 7.
And you're flying out at 7 a.m.
Exactly.
So nobody has done this correctly. So let me see if you can do it. So say your first name only, and in the sentence say your first name and your age.
My name is Brad, and I'm 45 years old.
That was literally perfect. What are you the most afraid of about yourself?
What am I most afraid of about myself? Oh, Jesus Christ, Bo, are you serious? Just atom bombs on the first question. Straight cattle prod right in the anus. Great question. That I let my neuroticisms and all these things that don't really have to be done eat up my time, that I should be spending more time with family and friends and all of that. Because my daughters are a similar age apart that you are from they're 5.5 years apart. So I was able to see how quickly the older one gets old and doesn't really want to hang out with you as much anymore and becomes the angsty teenager. And so the younger one, who I know I want to do stuff with, but at the same time, do they want to hang out with me that much? So I don't know if even if I made myself available, would they care to do those things with me in the first place?
Great start. A nice line drive single, pal. You're on base.
I'm afraid of losing my authenticity. You get this opportunity in your young life to become somebody and to do it without any restraint. And then as you get older, those restraints start to elevate, the waterline rises, and you see your friends less. So your point of reference to maintaining that special quality about yourself now lies within you. It's no longer that you can reflect it off somebody else or you can find it through somebody else. My fear is that one day I won't be the vibrant, charismatic person that I started as when I was in my 20s. I'll look back 10 years ago and I'll see who I was then and I'll be like, oh shit, there's some things that I left back there that I gotta get back, in order to be that version of me. Because I feel like that was the time when I was the most of myself.
I am most afraid of my unhealthy habits and that they may lead to a secondary cancer diagnosis, because I'm so stuck in my comfort, and comfort brings me peace, but I think being in that comfort could make me sick again.
Is it something you can sort of just set an alarm and make sure you're doing every day, or is it
No, I still haven't set that alarm yet. I still haven't made those changes, and it's been 5 years. And I don't know why.
My manipulative nature. I feel like I tell people what they want to hear, maybe, to get the reaction out of them that I want. But I don't know, my job is super manipulative, professionally, so manipulate my client to get them to like me, manipulate a DA to give me the deal I want, manipulate the judge to make them think my client's not gonna get out of jail and do the same fucking thing all over again, which they definitely will. So I feel like I'm juggling a lot of different manipulations, so I try to keep that at work. I'm afraid that that will become me all the time.
Do you feel are you conscious of it? Are you aware of it?
Mm-hmm, very much
and
so.
You can shift out of it?
Well, yes, but my fear is that I'll stop shifting out of it or fall back on it as a way to deal with things in my personal life.
Yeah, I'm definitely afraid that if I stay in one place too long, that people won't like me. It's so exciting getting to meet new people and learn about them, and if it ever gets uncomfortable, then I can just leave. I chase that dopamine wherever I go, and even just the changing of the seasons when I go back to Manitoba, it's fresh and it's new and it's exciting and it's happy, and by the time I leave I'm like, okay, like I'm ready to go and have that excited feeling again.
I'm 100% afraid of failure. I'm afraid of rejection. The fear of not being, actually thinking about that, really the fear of failure and the fear of rejection really just boils down to a general fear of just feeling like I'm not good enough.
Do you ever notice, like, in life when you forget about that stuff for like bits of time, and you're just like living like carefree, and then you remember? It's like you're like set free from it for moments of time.
Yeah. And usually those times come for me when there's music playing, I'm around friends, and that's usually the setting where a lot of those fear of rejection, fear of failure, and all that slips away. That's usually the environment that I'm in with. There's music, dancing, friendships. And the challenge in the phase of life that I'm in right now is trying to find those moments of when that fear of rejection and that fear of not being good enough slips away.
I guess I'm afraid of not actualizing, not being my best self, falling into comfortability, vices, things that, don't serve me, and I'm not getting the lessons in the time that I'd like to get them. I guess letting my monkey mind run, not having discipline, not buckling down, not having the self-control to do what I know needs to be done versus taking the easier route and then settling for second and third and like not using everything that's in the tank, not achieving everything I wanted to do in life,
What do you wish you could say to your 15-year-old self?
I would tell myself to have the courage to speak up and believe in myself more, and also have more like self-love. Like the person I am now and the experiences I've gone through and this self-confidence that I have now, I so desperately wish I had that when I was younger, because I think I would have like demanded respect more, not only from other people, but demanded respect from myself. But yeah, that's what I would tell my 15-year-old self, and maybe just to ease back on being so thirsty at such a young age. It's a whole nother story. I was just like rebellious. I was just pushing boundaries, not coming home on time, going up to the city.
Fuck more people. You're not so special.
Final answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Eat more pussy.
Best answer of the summer.
Move where your heart takes you. Always don't change your plan if the plan is good and you know it's good and you feel and you trust it and it got you somewhere good. Even when things go bad, don't change, don't adjust. I think one of the things would have been like, keep your charisma, keep your confidence, never let go of it. Confidence is everything. I had so much confidence when I was 15 to 18 to 20. I mean, I would walk up to anybody and say anything and do it like with class and be able to pull it off. And that was something that if I could have carried it at 100% or even 90% into my older age, I'd be unstoppable. And so I think that's one of the things that comes with youth is like naivete. Like you walk into any situation with the most important person on the planet and you'll say shit that you would never say now, like, right? Like, because you actually weight the gravity of that person much differently than you did when you were 18 and you had no idea what really life mattered for. But by the way,
Okay.
next time you do an interview, put the chair here, start there, and you're gonna get like an Annie Leibovitz drama light on the interview. Because right now you're going quarter angle, so you're gonna get like a dark wrap on this side, maybe a little less with the white. But if you go like this, you're gonna get literally like portraiture drama.
Okay.
Yeah, this like fucking gun right here would be sick.
Okay.
I'm like finally like realizing this now. Get the best grades and get into school and do the best thing and it'll all come to you and all that stuff. We're like, that's not how the world works. The world works is you need to like sell the shit out of yourself or else no one's gonna give you the time of day. You really need to like team up with people and bring people in and expand the people who have something in on, have something invested in that thing being successful too, opposed to like just doing everything on your own and making the best thing you can and then it'll all happen for you, because that's not the way the world works.
What I'd say to that 15-year-old Aaron is go say what's up to the hot girl and don't worry about what she says. At 15 I was preoccupied with that, and in many respects still at 45 I'm preoccupied with like talking, like finding that like attractive partner that I want. And I feel like at 15 maybe if I could have just checked the box on that, I could have moved on to like the next thing. And I feel like sometimes I'm still stuck on go a little bit when it comes to that, even at 45.
Don't get so hung up on chicks. There'll be another one coming around. When you're falling in love at 15, it's just like, it's so intense. And you don't think that you will ever get over somebody. Or you don't think you'll ever love as much. And that happened to me 20 times in a row. You're gonna be all right. Like, don't stress on this bird so much. I'd say it goes by fast.
I mean, part of me wants to say, go ahead and party because it's gonna be okay. Do you know, I actually wrote myself a letter when I was 15. I had told myself in this letter that, have fun now, but you're better than this and you are meant for big things in your life. My life was a real mess. I was in a lot of trouble all the time, and I wasn't sure what life was going to look like later. I think it took a really long time for me to think that it was going to be okay, and I still sometimes think it's not going to be okay. Waiting for it to fall apart.
I'm 48 and I still don't trust that everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I wonder if we ever get rid of it.
Yeah, I think some do, some don't. And it's funny. I like your answer because I wish so much at 15 that I had just known, like, that I was gonna be okay.
So I think I surprised a few people.
What would your 25-year-old self think of you now?
So proud. So proud. Like, look at you. Look how far you've come. What a badass. The 25-year-old Charlotte would look at the Charlotte now and be so impressed by her and all that she's achieved in 5 years. Because really, I had like a reset on life 5 years ago. So everything that I had known before was closed, and then I had a rebirth, and that rebirth is the woman that I am now. And she would be really impressed by that.
25-year-old Frankie was bartending in the Hamptons and was getting ready to be a photographer. I did probably expect to be a little bit more dialed up as a person, in the sense that like be further along in everything having to do with being an adult, like more property, more things, more probably like own a house by now, you know what I'm saying? The world has changed since we were 25 though, I'll give him that, like that's fair. Like a house isn't as easy to come by, but I definitely feel like I would have been a little bit more structured up by now, probably have kids. And I mean, I thought I'd be like Mario fucking Testino at this point. Like I'd be like living on an airplane. Most of my residences would be hotel rooms for jobs. And funny enough, now looking back, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds exhausting. I definitely would be a little bit surprised that I'd be so like physically and emotionally stressed, because I was the antithesis of stress when I was 25. Like there was nothing that could stress me. I would never expect myself to be stressed out. So stress has been a surprise, but besides that, I think I'd be pretty stoked about the product.
Dude, I think you'd be insanely stoked.
I wouldn't expect myself to have been moved in LA for 18 years. Like, I would have been in Miami, maybe, or I would have been living in New York City, but I definitely would not have seen myself in LA. And I'd be married to an English girl, like I thought it'd be like a Latin Miami girl with a fat ass, you know, pumping out kids by now, you know?
Okay, an insecurity you're willing to share.
Given what I am on paper, I should probably be making more money and be more successful.
That feels like an insecurity. I mean, I get it's funny because you live in Los Angeles, so it's. I mean, if you're gonna feel that way anywhere, it would be that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you try. I mean, I go to these clients' houses who like, I see the most grand opulence, and even when you're driving around, it's like everyone's in everyone's in the nicest this. Everyone's not even working; they're just walking around doing that or whatever.
I hold you in high regard, and like I know a bit about you, so it's. I when people answer this question, I'm like astonished at people's insecurities that you never know what people are carrying around with them and their their own bag of snakes, and it's just like you are worried about that? That's crazy.
Yeah, well, that's everyone. That's what makes
you're in like a thriving marriage, like with a house in like Los Angeles.
Yeah,
and, like,
dude.
your own business.
All of it. That's like everyone should feel better.
I guess I'm much more affected by slights that would be, just kind of roll off somebody like water on a duck's back, but I think it has to do with, caring, caring something that shouldn't be hurtful, or a slight or a dismissal might bother me more than I want it to.
I think simply put, it's just really insecurity. It's just not being good enough for that partner that I want to do life with. And maybe that person has showed up. I think sometimes in recent times that person has showed up, I think, potentially, but because I'm in my own head, I'm insecure about whether or not I'm good enough, cool enough, smart enough, good looking enough, confident enough for that woman, that partner, that I don't step into my power to put all my natural talents or abilities and just who I am, so that person is drawn in. So yeah, that's a big insecurity of mine.
Weight. I'm super insecure about my body composition currently, just because I'm like getting old and I always had like an effortless, very easy to maintain body, and now I'm 44 and that's ending. My hair, I'm super insecure. Oh my god, my hands. I have like the biggest farmer's hands. They're very strong. I give incredible massages, but they're not like delicate hands. They're very large. It's okay. But I'm very insecure about that. Anything else? No, I think that's it.
Ironically, the insecurity that I would be willing to share would probably be insecurity. Like, I'm never fully feeling like I've got it. And I've been able to enjoy like a good, consistent career with long clients and great things and good projects always coming every year. But for one reason, I think that would be one, is like be more secure in what I am, what I'm doing, and what I'm becoming.
One regret you would change.
That I haven't been more free with my love. Been pretty closed off, and I just haven't allowed myself to have fun and kind of be promiscuous, and just there's been people in my life too that I've been like attracted to, and I just for whatever reason don't allow myself to go there.
I don't really regret very much. I'm pretty happy with the decisions I've made so far. No. No, I think I'm okay.
I wish I could go back and from every moment till I first opened my mouth up till right now and not be such an interrupting cunt.
Current life struggle or challenge?
Current life struggle for me right now is surrendering and letting go of expectations of where I thought my life should go, or where I thought I should be in life at this stage, and just surrendering to life and letting life happen as it happens, and not put any judgment on it. Don't put any judgment on myself. Instead of just white knuckling it and trying to like drive and control the situation, oftentimes I realize that if I just gotta let go and just breathe and then let life happen, because you know, the universe, God, wants to conspire to help you. And the life that I have right now brought me to this room to sit across with a good friend of mine who I've known for over a decade now, sitting on this beautiful lake.
What trait do you struggle with the most?
Me?
Yeah.
I just thought of that like the second before you asked it. My nervous system.
Okay.
Like I'm constantly like trying to balance like anxieties and
Yeah.
levels, and because I was on autopilot for so many years with Xanax.
Yeah. Well, for me, and we kind of touched on this, I think it was just yesterday, and it's been a lifelong struggle for me, and that is anxiety. Everything in my life I feel like I've done has been in the efforts to make myself less anxious. I still have it, and you know, so much so that like just 2 years ago, I, you know, finally threw my hands in the air and just said like I'm ready to just take medication, which is frustrating for me because I just feel like I've done everything, you know, eating the right diet, you know, sleeping the right way. Like I totally nerd out on this stuff, like how to be the healthiest person possible, and what can I do to be not anxious. And I couldn't do any of it. I couldn't fix it. Which eventually led to me quitting alcohol, and so while it's not fixed, it is significantly better. It's the best it's been since I can remember. So now I get anxious, but I get anxious when I should, when there's actually a problem, and I can live with that.
And then just sit in the discomfort.
Yeah, so it is. It's
Like-
still super uncomfortable. It's still really gross.
I hated so much that was the answer. It was
Yeah.
like, well, you have to sit in the discomfort. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Because that's what I've like worked so hard to avoid.
yeah,
And it's also so crazy to me that alcohol's like, we think it's gonna relieve and make us feel calmer and like turn the
Yeah.
volume down, and it does the opposite. It
Yeah,
causes
it
so
does
much
it
more
all.
stress and anxiety, and you're
yeah.
always guessing it normal.
Teenage daughter. It's a huge life struggle and challenge. Yeah.
44-year-old and your like body falling apart. Just like finally got the world figured out, and then you're like, I can do this, I can afford that, I've got this figured out, happy with like my friends and my kids and my job and my life and my wife and my house and my car and all that stuff. You're like, and now I'm fucking crumbling. Now I'm crumbling, and now you're just like, God, dude, I play tennis, and it hurts me to walk around for 3 days afterwards. Like, good Lord, like, great, I'm gonna work my ass off to retire, and then by the time you're like, oh, now I can do that hobby I wanted to do.
It's such a 51 card deck, dude. Dude, you know what I think the answer is though? Or the secret, or a secret?
Yeah.
Yoga.
Yes.
Stretching.
100%. Yes.
Like-
Agree with that.
It's like drinking less. Or it's like sobriety, or like nobody that does yoga like complains about.
No.
Nobody says like, that's been a waste
It's
of
like
time.
purchasing extra legroom on the airplane. You're like, I don't need all this extra 3 inches. No one's ever been upset about the $70 extra legroom on the plane and getting on before everybody and having your luggage stored right above you.
one of the biggest challenges I have is learning how to grow. And I think that that goes personally and professionally. For me, one of the things that I found the most challenging at this time in my life is I feel like there's a lot of things that are leaving my life that are like things that I valued and things that I felt like I needed, and then moving into a lot of unusual territory that feels undiscovered is terrifying.
What would you say to your father on his deathbed?
God, that's terrible.
Apologies.
Are you sure you're dying? Because he overreacts to these kinds of things. I'd probably tell him I love him. Good luck.
Well, I already did, and we had some tough conversations at the end. You know, he was an alcoholic, and that caused a big strain on our relationship. And there was a lot of things that happened through my life that I was really angry at him. You know, he kind of, when I said, like, you know, I forgave him, he's like, well, for what?
The mortality of my dad and I is getting to a point of conversation because of like his recent diagnosis with like myeloma. So that kind of, it's probably something that if I haven't thought about yet, I probably should, not because it's going to pass anytime soon. It's not terminal, but it's, you know, it's something that can be treated for many, many years. But I turned out a lot like him, and that's pretty crazy how similar we are. We were born on the same day. We had the same name. We live at the same address. It's bizarre how similar we become even. But I think I tell him that I'm proud to be him, to be even 50% of him, and that, you know, for all the struggle that we started with when we were young, because we could barely live in the same house, I'd be like, look how far we've come, you know, in one lifetime. And I'd be proud to, you know, call him my father, and I don't think I could have ever had a better father than him.
Oh, God. I think I would say thank you for always fighting for our family. Thank you for always being there. And also thank you for like opening up later in life. Because as a little girl, he was very closed off. I don't remember saying I love you to my dad much. And then later in life, like he really started to like open up and become like really vulnerable. And as he's been getting older, he's really opened up and become this really gentle, loving man. So that's what I would say to him. Is thank you for being brave and becoming more vulnerable and always being a good papa. I don't want to think about that though, because he just turned 80, so we're there. We're getting older.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
Thank you.
You know, you just did a great job being a dad. Like, you know, to me, I don't think there is an A, a B, a C. It's like a pass-fail. You know, and they say that about attachment, right? Like your kids are either attached or they're not. There's no amount of like cuddling and extra goodness and warmth you can have with your kid. Like your kid will either feel secure because of the parents who were there for him and they felt loved unconditionally and all that. But yeah, just like, and I think he would like to hear that because I think that's what was important to him.
Like playing high school sports, that was like a period of time to me that like brought me so much joy, not simply for me playing the sport and the love of playing football, but it was like also that joy and appreciation I got when I knew my mom was in the stands and like she was able to watch me, her son, be like the star running back on the team, or my dad was being in the stands and like being able to watch me play games and do what I did when I did that stuff back in high school. And I know I made him so proud. And I remember on one of our walks, just spending one-on-one time with him, I asked him this, and I think I'd asked him this question again on his deathbed, that, you know, Dad, did I make you proud? Did I make you proud?
I would tell him thank you, and that, you know, he's a great man and exceptional and loved, and you know, a lot of people they don't look up to their parents that much, or they're like, oh, my old man, or whatever. I happen to have been really quite blessed in that both of my parents are pretty, really kind and exceptional people. And, you know, I look up to them.
Who do you love the most and why?
I love my dog. I love my dog the most because she doesn't say anything. I mean, obviously I love Georgie the most, and this isn't like an answer I feel like I have to give, but because she just gives so much love and does so much for myself and my kids.
I think I probably love Brad the most. He was chosen. He's like my chosen family. He grounds me like a lot. I didn't always love him so much. Like, it started when we first met. I mean, I always was like very attracted to him. Like, the chemistry was always there. But like, this deep sense of love, it only has grown like in the last however 20 whatever years we've been together. Every year it feels like more love. And he keeps like proving himself to me over and over again, which is really amazing. He's like does so much to better himself. And he definitely has his faults. I mean, there's no question about it. We all do. But his self-improvement has led me to really like appreciate him as a person beyond the person I like initially was attracted to or like fell in love with. And I aspire to have more of his characteristics. I find them really admirable. So I think I love him most. I mean, I love my children, but I love him the most, I think. Yeah.
Throughout my lifetime, the people that I've loved the most, my God. I mean, obviously my parents are up there, Charlotte's up there. I think my relationship with Fiona, my dog, was probably, I know that sounds crazy, but I had a connection with this animal that was like on another level. My grandmother was like she kind of raised me a little bit. Like, she was there maybe 50% of the time from the age of like 0 to 10, 12. She was kind of in the mix, and then she passed. Her and I had a very special relationship. So I love her deeply. I still think about her quite a bit.
The person that I love the most would be my mom, because recently she's been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Looking at my life and looking at my mom's impact on my life, and how intelligent she is and compassionate and selfless and all these great qualities, that she just provided for my life to be better, and my sisters and my dad, and it's just, I've known a lot of people in my life, and like, she's, affected my life in remarkable ways.
My dad, like, I love my dad a whole lot. I think my dad always showed up for me and my sister, in that way that allowed me to not be shameful about not having the same money that some of my like really close friends' families had. So and that was just like a trend, over life. My dad has just like shown up for me. You're 18 and you have a grant to pursue whatever you want.
It's so easy. I'll just make music. I could do that now. I just need to stop doing the fucking bullshit, fixing this. It's my favorite thing in the world. It makes me feel so happy. There's no amount of therapy that could put me in a better mood, or weed I could smoke, or exercise I could do. Just like sitting there and like jamming out and playing music.
Since being here,
In Sammamish?
yes, I actually have had a bigger shift internally within myself within the last 2 days than I have in years. And I found myself saying I'm sorry to myself. for things that have happened. It's almost like I'm apologizing for any past traumas, and I just found myself subconsciously like saying, not out loud, but I was going through instances of things that I had regret for, and I was saying, I'm sorry. And I've only done that being here. There's something really profound that's happened to me since being here. Very, very healing. So much so that I'm apologizing for past traumas. It's really cool and gratifying, because I feel like I've made so much progress in 2 days than I have in years.
That is so meaningful to hear.
Feels
I
good.
mean, that is sort of the backbone of what this whole like summer thing is for us. That
And I was nervous
people
coming here because
experience
we had
that.
just been so busy, and I was like, gosh, like, is it gonna be relaxing? Is it gonna be like back-to-back activities? I just didn't know what to expect. And then coming here, I've had this happen. I've seen Frankie, the happiest he's been in months. And we had a moment in the water yesterday. And we both looked at one another and we were like, this is really cool. This is really cool. That was nice. That was really nice.
it really affects me. Thank
Aww.
you. That's wonderful.
How much you want to bet the Indian food isn't here yet?
I was just thinking about that. Initially, I started interviewing my friends, kind of for something to do. Leanne and I, we had like 40 people staying with us this summer on Lake Sammamish, and I thought I would just like interview each friend, and then I would take that interview and just send it to them, like on like a YouTube link or something. And then it just kept the well just started getting deeper and deeper, and there was a lot more connectivity than I had thought. So it went from just like, oh, this would be a fun little thing to do with my friends, and it kind of turned into this project that I've been working on for a year.